What is good, internet? Justin here, and in this video I'll be telling you my thoughts about Star Wars Battlefront. I did play the beta. I do not have EA Access Pass or whatever it is called, so I did not get the 10 free hours or whatever. But I did play the beta, which is one of the reasons why I was really interested in this game, because I played the beta and I had extremely good time playing it. So yeah, I was like, when this game comes out, I'm probably gonna get it first day. And I've only, since I'm making this video, it's only been about a day since it's been released. Compared to my previous thoughts video, which was Call of Duty, it took me a week before I kind of gathered my thoughts there. But it shows how much fun I'm having with this game. If it's only taken me a day for this video to be made. To start off, I'm not the biggest Star Wars nerd. I'm right in between a casual fan and super nerd. I'm right in between those two. So me liking this game has nothing to do with being a huge Star Wars fan. Just barely above casual Star Wars fan. So it has nothing to do with defending the series from end to end. I don't even know too much about the lore, the expanded universe, and all that stuff. I'm not on that level, but I do know the basics, and I do enjoy the series in general. Even when the new movies come out, I'm probably gonna wait a few weeks before I watch that. So like I said, this has nothing me enjoying this game has nothing to do with being a huge Star Wars nerd. I've also thrown out what I've known from the past as far as first-person shooters and third-person shooters in some cases with this game. So for many years, I played Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, as far as first-person shooters go, and then third-person shooters. I guess Gears of War would be my main one. This kind of has a third-person aspect to it. You can go into third person, but you can't really go into cover. But yeah, so I've thrown all those out of the window. And I've taken this game and realized it's super casual and arcadey in a sense. One of the biggest complaints about this game is the lack of depth, just with anything in general, and the more I play, the more I actually see that happening. Underneath the beautiful looking game, it is gorgeous. I can't imagine what it looks like on PC. I'm a person that really doesn't care too much about graphics and frame rates and all that stuff, but it does look great. I'm on PS4 and I can't imagine what it looks like on PC. Sounds great, and it really feels like you're immersed in the Star Wars battle. But underneath all of that, it is an extremely generic shooter. You don't feel like you're doing too much. You have lasers, which feels a little underwhelming because, quite frankly, we're not really used to shooting lasers all too much. The multiplayer progression is a little lackluster in itself as well. As far as space battles go and dogfights, that is also a little kind of I'm not a person that uses vehicles all too often, but when I am in one, I don't even know what I'm doing. You can't make strafing runs to get infantry at the bottom. They seem a little too small and I can't seem to find them unless you remember and know where they're spawning. I guess you can kind of randomly shoot into there. But when I'm engaging in dogfights, it's really just circling around each other on the map or in the air until either one of us messes up and goes too much in a straight line, or we just suicide and run into each other. As far as game modes go, there are quite a lot of them. I probably should have looked it up before I talked about them, but there's only a few that will be played. Supremacy, which is like domination, capture strongholds and all that stuff. Walker Assault for sure, everyone's gonna play that. Heroes versus Villains, which is what it sounds like, and Hero Hunt, and the one where you're fighting in space. The one where you guys are all in airships. Those are the ones that are probably going to be played the most. Everything else should probably not have been made, and they should have put more effort into other stuff, but whatever, it is what it is. Especially team deathmatch. I know team deathmatch is kind of a staple in multiplayer games, but even that is pretty lame. Yeah, you're in the Star Wars environment and all that stuff, but because the way the gun mechanics and stuff work in this game, it's really a lot of luck based and a lot of who gets a better spot than the other ones and who can pick up these power-ups on the battlefield. So as far as when you're actually on the battlefield fighting against other people, how do I put this? Like I said, throw everything you know away about first-person and third-person shooters out the window. This is pretty much simplicity as its best. And maybe almost too generic to where it turns a lot of people off. There's nothing overwhelmingly, in the sense of feeling powerful about when you're a soldier, but there's nothing too lackluster either. It's very generic. There's no customization on the weapon, so it feels like you're always firing the same weapon, other than the cooling rate and the rate of fire and the distance it travels. But other than that, you're just firing pew pew lasers everywhere, and it doesn't necessarily feel like you're doing too much. when you're actually fighting against other people. And in short, Star Wars games, to have Star Wars fun and all that stuff, and if you're a casual player, this game is definitely for you. If you're looking for any other type of shooter, I don't think it's going to work out for you. If you want to pub stomp and carry, it's definitely not going to work. Not to humble brag or anything, but I do top frag on my team a lot of the times, but most of the time we're actually kind of I realize we're losing because this game, if you play those game modes, which most people are, is more objective based than normal. So you can't necessarily, you mean you can still pub stomp, but you know, you won't have fun losing all the time. It's not fun to lose. It may be fun to kill, and you know, not everything's about kill death ratio, but it is the internet, and you know, kill death ratio is everything. But in this case, it's not. It's a very arcadey, very casual shooter, so you have to go into this game knowing that it's very casual. There's a lot of people that are playing this game because they're Star Wars fans, not necessarily huge multiplayer first-person shooters or just multiplayer shooters in general. They're probably mad that there's no campaign or anything, so they have to play multiplayer, and there are a lot of times people on your team will have an extremely low score. You know, you don't have to be the best, you don't have to be 420 MLG player, but there's a lot of people on my team that go, or there's a game and a lot of people on my team went to 1 in 15, 1 in 20. I don't understand how that happens. That's pretty crazy, but you will see that that is fairly common in this game because it is extremely casual. So you can't look at this game at a competitive level whatsoever. You just have to go into it and have fun. One of the things that I don't like the most, there's a lack of customization in a lot of tiers, so there's that. And DLC might split up a lot of people because there are not too many maps to play. Walker Assault right now there's only 4, and I don't know how the DLC is going to work, but it should be announced fairly quickly or in a short amount of time. Hopefully the DLC doesn't split up the community and the player base too much, as far as like putting people with DLC and putting people without DLC into separate categories. I mean, you can choose the maps you want to play. I don't know if people know that you can choose the maps you want to play when you select a game mode. But hopefully it doesn't split up the community too much. Kind of would be unfair, and it might shrink the numbers a little bit because, you know, people without DLC don't want to play if nobody's playing these old maps. But in the end, would I want to spend $60 on this game again? I definitely would. It's definitely a change of pace. It's a change of style for me. And overall, like I said, I just threw everything about gaming out the window just to have fun. And that's what this game brings. It's just a whole lot of fun. You know, hopefully new maps and the DLC stuff will be announced soon, just because I feel like the same, you know, specifically Walker Assault only has 4 maps right now, and I've definitely rotated through that in a number of times, and level progression isn't that slow this time around. I've somewhat dabbled in a few other Battlefields, which EA is known for Battlefield, and you know, leveling through those games and unlocking stuff takes quite a while, and in this game it doesn't take that long. I guess, you know, like I said, it's for casual fans so they can unlock stuff they want quicker. And in this case, it's extremely fast. I'm already like level 15, only a few hours into the game. If you don't have the game yet and you're willing to spend an extra 10, 15, whatever it is, how many dollars for the deluxe edition, if you still can, I suggest getting that version, just because the guns they give you with the bonus is fucking crazy. Those things are strong. I bought the standard edition because the deluxe edition, I don't feel like I need it, because you can unlock the stuff that they're giving you later on in the game. Specifically the Han Solo's pistol, I think it's his pistol. You can unlock that at a certain level, but if you get the deluxe edition, you get it right away, and that thing is pretty strong. I was wondering why I was dying so quickly. Turns out tons of people went and spent the extra money to unlock extra stuff early. But once, like, when you start the game, you're fairly weak because you don't have power-ups and all that stuff. You don't have the cards and the equipment quite yet, so you have to tread through that as fast as you can, because you're extremely underpowered and you have nothing. You don't have grenades, you don't have other stuff to use. If you get past that, that's when the game starts getting fun. You unlock more gear. You yeah, that's pretty much it. Go ahead and play the game is all I can say. It's fun. If you're looking for like a Call of Duty type of game, and this is not gonna work out. This doesn't even feel like the same type of Battlefield game. If you played previous EA games, previous DICE games, then this isn't the same as well. It's in its own category pretty much of casual Star Wars nerdism as far as that goes. But yeah, I'm having fun. It's definitely a blast. I'm enjoying it the most. I was playing on my stream yesterday, had a few cool moments. One of the few things I wish they would change is how heroes worked in as far as when you're playing stuff like Walker Assault and stuff. They're like other power-ups, you pick them up. And I don't know if more spawn while there's already one on your team or the enemy team, so you can have all three of the heroes on the field at the same time. Because if you played the beta, the heroes, if I remember correctly, their health ticked down, and now they actually have a finite amount of health. They can't recover it, so when they lose health, they lose health permanently until they die. But in this case, you can actually camp a lot, and they're actually really strong. So if you're someone like Han Solo or Boba Fett, you can actually hold down some choke points fairly well and camp it out. It's really unfair. I did that the other day with Han Solo, and I literally held down the fort for like half of the map, just playing as Han Solo and camping it out, and it's pretty stupid. So hopefully they find a way to fix that. There's a few other things maybe they can fix. I'm not entirely too sure at the moment. Right now I'm just an infantryman sniping and running away constantly, so I don't do too much space battles and stuff. I don't know if there's anything wrong with that. But overall, I'm having a great time. I'm having a blast, if you will. So if you want to check out me camping as Han Solo or flying around like an idiot Boba Fett, because his jetpack is assigned to aim down sights. I don't know why, so every time I want to aim down on my weapon, I'm actually flying and jetpacking away. If you want to check that out, come hit me up at twitch.tv/onslaughtprime. Information will be below as always. I absolutely hate that name. I don't know why I came up with that. As far as the prime part, it sounds stupid and try hard, but it's what it is. I made that a long time ago, and now I'm stuck with it. So yeah, hit me up. I'll be streaming quite a lot actually. The break's coming up, and yeah, that's all. Again, have fun with Star Wars. Fun is the key word, and that's all for this video. Thanks. Please follow and support. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys real soon, hopefully.